Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for visiting me here in my channel. My name is Kanako. I am a coach in Kimono. And today I'd like to talk about a difference between an attitude of a successful person and actions that person have taken. So between an attitude and an action, I think certainly, there are differences like it is one side spiritual or mental, and the other side is physical and certainly grounded to this real world. Then I think one of the biggest misunderstanding when it comes to manifestation is you can have whatever you want by just thinking of it. Well, yes, I actually say that is a misunderstanding because, you cannot just think about it, but you have to feel it so real that you cannot resist the feelings of having it. So certainly, in the physical reality, I think that, yes, certainly, somehow it shows some contradiction. But, I hope I can explain it well here. But anyway, then when I thought about it and why I have come up with this idea was, I think I could understand that how did this person succeeded? And I have always thought about it. And then whenever I heard that you think of it and you can have it in your hand, then I always came back to one question. What should I do? And that one question was actually coming out from my old program that I cannot do it. I don't want to do it. So, for example, as one of an attitude of successful person, like waking up early in the morning. So 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. And I really can say this was one of the hardest challenge for me because I was never good at waking up in the morning, especially early in the morning. And whenever I heard successful people always get up early in the morning, immediately I responded, I don't want to do it. And I cannot do it. And I didn't even give any thought of it. Anyway, then so that is how the misunderstanding starts. So let's say if I blindly believe that successful people always wake up early in the morning, then let's say I kept waking up like 4 a.m. every day for 1 week. I would just be focused on waking up at 4 a.m. Still, in 1 week, what would I find myself? Maybe waking up at 4 a.m. and still don't know what to do with that time. So by waking up early in the morning, it will certainly gives you a free time just for yourself. So that is why this waking up early is emphasized as one of a great point to be successful. So with that extra time just for yourself, you can start reading books, even writing books. Maybe not whole book, but even 3 sentences or just 1 page for your book. Of course, eventually, if you keep going like that every day, certainly you will succeed. So it is important to understand why you wake up at 4 a.m. and how you can make the most out of it. So really, by not understanding how it works and how actually you can use for your benefit, it doesn't make sense by just waking up at 4 a.m. So that was something like I have been doing for last a few years. Then I finally felt like I give up because well, waking up in the early morning, it is just one example. So well, honestly, I didn't do it, and well, I wasn't, yeah, I wasn't really wanting to do that anyway. And still, I think most of the people misunderstand this kind of gap. Then, of course, they complain and they can eventually give up on manifestation or something like that. So, yes, certainly, I wanted to point out that out anyway. And so, there is a huge difference between an attitude and actions. So, as my answer to this, to deal with this gap, I think the attitude for successful people, it is the same. Certainly, they know what they want, and then they find out what action they can take on that moment, at that moment on the day. So, of course, deciding what you really want is the first. Yes, certainly. And of course, what you really want in your life differs. If there are 10 people in one room, of course, there are 10 kinds of dreams they want to attract. That goes the same with 100 people, 1,000 people, or really with the number exist on this planet. So, really, like if you say you'd like to attract more money, yes, certainly, well, there are many people who would say that, but still, what do you want to do with that money? That must be different from one person to one person, the other person. So really, like myself, for me, the real fulfillment, for me, it's been my dream to live every day wearing kimono and well, acting beautifully in kimono. And well, now I am a shosa instructor who can teach how to use your body in kimono, and it looks so beautiful. So that's one of the things I am doing right now. And also, yes, I am talking in front of my camera wearing kimono. And well, this is something I wouldn't have imagined I can do one day. Well, just 2 years ago, well, it was really just a dream. But anyway, so of course, I found out who can teach me how to wear kimono and how to behave beautifully in kimono. And actually, well, I wasn't sure if I wanted to teach, but well, anyway, well, that came to as an addition. Anyway, so like that. So yes, I am so happy to live every day like this. And of course, it cannot be the same with everyone, especially who are listening to this video. So I would never say you should wear kimono too. Well, no, that's not the answer. I know that. And so it is really important for you to find out what is your unique dream. What is your unique goal? And of course, once you decide that goal, you can just come back to this moment. So yourself who have already achieved your goal, that stands in the future. Well, yes. So I'm not sure if it's 1 year from now or 5 years from now or, well, whatever the timeline you may set. But still, okay, so let's say you have already achieved your goal, then come back to this moment and examine what you can start from. So if you want to be a doctor, well, I'm just saying as an example. So if you want to say a medical doctor, okay, so now do you have a license? And then if it's a yes, of course, I think you can find out, well, the way. But still, if you do not have the license yet, I think you have to find out how to be a doctor with a license. So really, well, find out which university you need to go or what kind of study you have to do. And well, yes, all the things you need to find out. And well, so that is how it works. So once you decide you become a medical doctor, well, of course, well, as a medical doctors, I think there are certain areas to study. So anyway, yeah, I really have no idea how to become a medical doctor. So in any country, but anyway, so like that. So once you set a goal, then you can find out where you can start and what kind of work, what kind of action you need to take. And that is how it works. And of course, well, there might be some sayings from people who are really close to you. Well, if I say like, well, for example, well, I am now 45 years old. And well, if I say, okay, I'd like to become a medical doctor, well, certainly my family would say, well, I cannot because, well, think about my age and think about my background and think about the even fundings as well. Yes, well, certainly you need certain amount of money to pay for the education. So really, well, all those kind of not education, all those kind of information will come into your lives, and well, actually, then that is the moment you should consider how a successful person would behave. Of course, a successful person would never mind whatever the opposing opinion comes in if that person determined to become a medical doctor. That's the only path they follow. So that is the attitude of a successful person. So all we have to do is imitate that attitude. Not the action itself, but the attitude. So find out what you really want and focus on it. And every moment, yes, not every day, every moment in a day, remind yourself, this is my goal and I already exist as already achieved that goal. Then now what I need to do, what I can do. Then simply just take that action. So there is that certain one path, one certain way which can lead you to a really successful yourself, the best version of yourself. So follow this way, method, I think. Then certainly you will achieve your goal earlier than you think. So I hope I could explain well about the difference between attitude and the action. So yes, I almost forgot what I have been talking about. But anyway, I really appreciate it if you could share your comment and questions. So yes, like this, my channel will go on. So yes, thank you very much for listening until the end. I will see you in my next one. Until then, enjoy every moment of your life. ありがとうございます。